Horizon Zero Dawn is definitely one of the games I'm looking forward to this year. Feels weird to say that it's coming out this year, but it is. Anywho, executive producer Mark Norris made some interesting comments with the Latin American version of IGN, basically discussed the hot debate surrounding female main characters in video games. And here's what he had to say, and I just want to kind of discuss what he said and give some opinions on it. So, here's what he said. Quote, "Interestingly, in the consciousness of video games, there has been the subject of the female main character since a year and a half ago. When we put the concept Horizon in 2011, when we began to think of ideas, there were three things that did not change on Horizon. Aloy as our main character, these fantastic machines, and this juxtaposition of post-apocalyptic world, so she was never in question. In fact, it is frustrating that being the 2015 still has to validate an option on a female main character, and then people use it to ask how they decided that option. For us, it never was. It never asked if we should choose a man or a woman. It was always Aloy. From the moment we think of the game, from the beginning we had these three elements, there was always Aloy. She's fantastic, I think she has a great story, and we are excited about it." First things first, that's exactly how you write a character or a story, in my opinion. If your vision is to have a woman, cool, write that story. If it's a man, write it. If it's a robot, write it. If it's a person whose gender is in question, like Undertale, write it. I only have an issue when it feels token, but when you've literally built a story with this character in mind rather than just changing their gender at last minute or whatever, it feels much more natural and cohesive. But I don't know if I agree that there's still such a hot debate anymore. I mean, yeah, it still comes up sometimes, but I think most people are happy with the variety. We've had a pretty damn good year or so for female main characters and just women in games in general. Obviously, we've had Lara Croft in Rise of the Tomb Raider. We've had the person in Undertale whose gender was really up for question. It could have been a boy, it could have been a girl, it could have been an alien for all we knew. Their gender was never brought up because it wasn't relevant to the story. And things have been getting better. There's still a ways to go, don't get me wrong, but we have made progress. Female main characters aren't like unicorns anymore. And even if a female is not the main character, we have seen plenty of good women who are characters in the games, such as, say, Dragon Age, and of course the upcoming Dishonored has the option to choose a man or a woman, and various games have had women in them, even if not necessarily main characters. It's still good stuff. So undoubtedly there are some people still causing a fuss, but to be honest, I think most are just happy with stories if they're good, regardless of the gender of the main character. All we really want is a good story at the end of the day, and the only time gender will really come into issue is if, of course, there's something intrinsic to the story. It might come up as an interesting discussion, or it feels shoehorned in because they're trying to tick a box or whatever. But if they've truly built it from the ground up with the main character Aloy in question, and of course centered around her and this world and how the world came to be and blah 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 blah, then it sounds like it's right on track to be a really good game. And that's great, because the trailer, damn, that got me pretty damn interested in this game in one fell swoop. Now, don't get me wrong, things aren't perfect. There's still work to be done, and not just with this, just with things in general. Take a look at the comment section of any video where, a transgender or LGBT character has been announced, and but we're coming on, we're getting there. Do let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.